It's hard to figure out who this video is for. I'm pretty sure I've accomplished something over the last 100+ days that I wasn't supposed to accomplish. I think the people ultimately responsible for my arrest on the 17th of August were expecting that between the time I was arrested and the time that I actually appeared in court for trial, if it even went to trial, they were hoping that I would commit a breach, open and shut. The breach that I, quote-unquote breach, that I committed on the 30th of October doesn't really hold much weight. On the 17th of December, I'm going to be going to court, and the judge is going to say, Mr. Lefebvre, do you want to enter into the peace bond? Okay? So for the last 120 days, it'll be 120 days by the time I get to court on the 17th, a judge will then be asking me, Mr. Lefebvre, do you wish to enter into the peace bond? And if he had asked me that 3.5 months ago, of course I would have said, of course not. Filming Jehovah's Witnesses in public and criticizing them is not against the law. The day that it is against the law is the day that we're not free in this country. Of course I won't be consenting to the peace bond, Your Honor. If you had asked me that 3.5 months ago, but because it has been 3.5 months since I was arrested, and 3.5 months that I had been living under these conditions, now that I have breached, the judge will then be able to say to me 4 months after my arrest, so Mr. Lefebvre, are you willing to enter into the peace bond? If you do cooperate with the court when it comes to entering into the peace bond, we would be prepared to drop the criminal offense of your breach. And that is the scam. Okay? But I have an interesting experience to share with you. About 2 weeks ago, I contacted legal aid. So when I was arrested on the 30th of October, I called an individual. That individual said that, don't worry about it, Stuart, I'll take care of it. That individual didn't take care of it, which is why I was in jail for 30 hours. And I finally had a desk duty lawyer representing me who said nothing on my behalf. So I was up for 30 hours this last time, deprived of any real food, sleep, and because of the confusion, I was just exhausted when I appeared in court, so I consented to the recognizance. The next day or two later, I did contact legal aid to say, you know what, I need a lawyer. And a lawyer was referred to me. I was approved for legal aid. I've been speaking to the lawyer, I guess, 3 or 4 times before Tuesday night. Okay, so I was to go to court on the 28th of November, this past Wednesday, and on Tuesday night, the lawyer called me to discuss our strategy. So on the 31st of October, 30 hours after my arrest on the 30th of October, the judge presented me with this recognizance of bail. You guys see that? Recognizance of bail. Condition number 9, you are to attend court on November 28th, 2018 at 9:00 a.m. in court 307 at Vancouver Provincial Court. Okay, so that is a recognizance of bail condition. Okay, that I attend court. I can't believe what I'm about to tell you guys. Okay, to not attend court, okay, to not attend court is to breach a condition. Right up there with coming within 100 meters of any literature cart operated by Jehovah's Witnesses. So not coming to court this past Wednesday at 9 o'clock would have been a breach. You see it right here. Okay? Now, one of the first things this legal aid lawyer told me when we spoke, and I explained the situation I'm in, I read her these conditions, I explained condition number 9 about having to attend court. She was like, I don't even really know if you have to do that, because of the nature of the appearance. There's 63, beyond youth court, there are about 63 different reasons for a person in British Columbia to have to appear in provincial court. 63 reasons, right? Like, I've got the list. So this is the Justin Code table list, okay? Justin stands for Justice Information. And these are abbreviations for, over and above youth court, 63 different reasons for having to appear in provincial court in British Columbia. So here I am reading this, thinking I better be in court at 9 o'clock. Okay, on the 28th of November, so that I don't have a warrant issued and I don't end up back in jail with another strike next to my name, which is what they need because I've committed no crime. So the lawyer says to me, okay, well, that appearance is probably something you don't even really have to worry about. 2 weeks ago. And she still calls me on Tuesday night, knowing that I have to go in the next day, and she instructs me. If you're watching this video, you know you instructed me to meet you at 2 o'clock. To meet you at 2 o'clock in the courthouse. Well, after you gave me those instructions, I picked up the phone and I called another XJW activist, and we had a nice long chat, and we both basically reached the conclusion that, you know what, you better go to court anyway at 9 o'clock just to see what's going on. And sure enough, when I arrived in courtroom 307 at 9 o'clock in the morning yesterday, Wednesday, November 28th, I was the first one called. My file was right on top of a bunch of files. They were not expecting me. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't have this recording device in that courtroom, but I hope by now you believe me when I tell you, when they called my name and I was there to answer for myself, they were very surprised. I've got a transcript. It's all quite a blur because I couldn't believe what was happening. When you're in court, you really can't remember what you're saying, so I'm going to have the transcript in a couple of days. You guys will see the whole thing. So the point is that they were not expecting me, and there I was representing myself yet again, refusing to consent yet again, and then I was moved over from the consult with counsel appearance to an application appearance, APP. And not a week later, not a day later, but half an hour later. So they wanted to figure out what to quickly do about me, so they gave me half an hour to be ready to quote unquote make an application, which is right here, APP. Okay, so when you go in and you're looking at the docket list, you see your name, reason for appearance, courtroom, file number, counsel. So in the case of the 9:30 appearance, it said APP application. When I appeared at 10 o'clock, 10:30 or so, on the application appearance, again, I tried to present the application to have my bail conditions varied to the Crown Prosecutor. It wasn't Mr. Fox, it was somebody else. I tried to present the application to the Crown Prosecutor to get his consent to vary just some of the conditions. 100 meters? Right? I'm thinking, can we please look at these conditions? Can someone please help me ask for a variation on these conditions? It's been over 100 days. My life has been turned upside down. Can someone from the Crown please consider consenting to this form so that I can submit it? So he didn't consent, and neither did Mr. Fox when I presented it to him about 2 months ago. Okay, so 2 Crown counselors haven't consented to assisting me with getting my bail conditions varied, so I didn't consent right back and didn't take the particulars. So you see my curtains are drawn, and so basically where it stands now is the legal aid lawyer instructed me to breach. If I had listened to the legal aid lawyer and met her at 2 o'clock and not been there at 9 o'clock, a warrant would have been issued. And that would have been another strike against my name. So by following the instructions of my legal aid counsel, I would have been in breach of yet another condition, which would have resulted in yet another appearance